I guess with the thing with Conor is like, is it going to draw the interest that we think it would? Right? We would all talk about it and him fighting, but like Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor is a completely irrelevant fight. Right? Like that is like there's no relevance whatsoever. It does nothing other than I guess sell tickets maybe.
The combat sports world is abuzz once more because Conor McGregor recently made headlines with one of the craziest demands in combat sports history. For the much-awaited White House ceremony, McGregor stunned fans, fighters, and promoters by asking not just a huge purse, but also a set of golden visas for him and his loved ones. The news went viral with everyone wondering the same thing. Has McGregor crossed the line? Or is this another masterstroke to ensure his name is at the top? What actually left the fans amazed was that the huge purse wasn't even the whole story. McGregor went on to explain in full that although the money is a gigantic aspect of his demand, he also desires those golden visas to make sure his family permanently enjoys top-level access to the United States. It's something beyond the confines of fighting, more as if he's bargaining for his legacy outside the octagon. This kind of audacity once again confirms that McGregor plays by a different rule than anyone else. Conor's close friend and BKFC partner David Feldman also admitted that McGregor is serious about this opportunity and is working at the rate at which he could reach his past version.
I think that he's very serious about what he's doing with his comeback fight. He's gonna do that fight. I mean, unless something really crazy off the wall happens, this truly, really is the best Conor McGregor I've seen. Now, I haven't known him forever, but I've known him for 2 years, and this is the best Conor I've ever seen. Focused, training. You know, we had some conversations, me and Conor, and I just said, bro, I mean, you're the biggest legend that ever hit the fight game, really, almost. Just, you know, let's get back in there and train. And he's doing everything that I think a fighter should do at this point. He's got a long time to go before that July 4th card next year. So if he can maintain his focus, which I have no reason to believe he won't, and maintain his training and focus on everything, he's got a great shot of being the old Conor McGregor.
And let's not forget that McGregor has already confirmed his comeback against Michael Chandler on this historic White House card. For Conor, this isn't a fight, it's a huge chance to set himself in American history by aligning his comeback with one of the biggest platforms the UFC has ever tried to reach. But the true debate is if his ask is worth the investment. Is Conor as megastar-sized as he used to be, or is this just unrealistic demand and all about headlines rather than anything real?
This is me, Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler and myself have done the show, The Ultimate Fighter. We've had a good back and forth. He's a good, tough guy. And, you know, the Mac is excited to get back for sure.
Matt Brown, an old-school fighter, did not mince words when discussing the topic. With his reputation for telling it like it is, Brown openly referred to McGregor as being irrelevant in current MMA affairs. Brown's assessment created huge discussions on social media, with a majority agreeing that McGregor has declined from his unstoppable peak, while others hold the opinion that regardless of anything, his name continues to sell like no other in the sport.
I guess with the thing with Conor is like, is it going to draw the interest that we think it would? Right? We would all talk about it and him fighting, but like Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor is a completely irrelevant fight. Right? Like that is like there's no relevance whatsoever. It does nothing other than I guess sell tickets maybe.
Chael Sonnen, who never hesitates to ignite controversy, also concurred with Brown on several points. Sonnen asserted that fights of this magnitude ought to have a title on the line.
I'm not a hater towards Conor, and neither is Matt Brown. We all are just trying to learn and understand as we go. It really is true about MMA, and it's largely built around championships. Well, that is the key, and that is the drive. And some promoters somewhere along the way, I mean, like if you follow historically, it used to be very important that amongst your city, your village, or even your tribe, that you had somebody that was good at fighting. Because if somebody from a different city, village, or tribe came...
A McGregor comeback bout against Chandler, which would be entertaining for the crowd, doesn't merit being hyped as the linchpin of such a colossal card, he said. For Sonnen, the implications simply don't live up to the stage, and without a title, it's more of a grudge than a championship-caliber headliner.
When Matt Brown says Conor is not relevant, what Matt Brown is speaking about is Conor has no contention, he has no claim. He has no reasonable argument towards any belt in existence. I see it the same way. I'm forced to see it the same way. He doesn't even have a weight class. He doesn't even have a license, for that matter. He cannot legally come to America right now per paperwork.
Even so, Sonnen did pose an intriguing proposition. He pointed to McGregor's historical bout with Floyd Mayweather, where a bespoke money belt was brought in solely to raise the show. Sonnen contended that if Dana White cared to, they could do the same here. Design a belt or special title specifically for the White House bout. It would not carry much meaning for rankings, but it might bring enough theatrics and prestige to merit Conor appearing, even without an actual championship hanging in the balance.
Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. And we had no idea it was going to be for the money belt until the press conference, which was 1 day before the weigh-in and 2 days before the fight. And it was a total scam, by the way. This thing was diamond encrusted and they had like security guards around it because it was worth millions of dollars. When the show ended, the production where they brought this out, they got the security guards and it's in the case and this thing's all done. When the show ended, they left the belt. I found it. I found the belt. And I'm like, so I make a phone call. Like, should I just leave? Is somebody coming back for this? And they're like, oh.
Daniel Cormier, on the other hand, had a vastly different opinion. DC insisted that having McGregor as a co-main event would make a whole lot more sense for all parties involved. He stated that requesting Conor to headline the White House card as the solo star might be asking too much, particularly when so many reigning champions warrant the attention. A co-main position holds McGregor's star power in reserve without dimming a valid title bout that might overshadow the patriotic headliner.
No, he does not.
Bill, I believe he would be in the co-main event. I don't know that they could ask. That's too big an ask. That's too big an ask to ask.
Now you're making
him.
sense.
That would be too big of an ask to ask him to go fight main event. Because I think in the main event, you have to have somebody fighting for a title. And it needs to be an American guy. It needs to be an American guy fighting for a championship to end the night. Chael, we go to the movie theater and we want to leave feeling good. We want the good guy to win.
This made perfect logical sense, as Dana always wanted to feature McGregor on the UFC's biggest cards because of their history together and the amount of favors McGregor had done for him. With a co-main position, the UFC can still make money off McGregor's marketability without compromising the main event's prestige. For Dana, it's a good compromise between business, hype, and Conor's reality of being in between fights.
All right, so when Conor says that he wants to be on the card at the White House, he's won one fight in 7 years. He wants to be on that card. Do you want him on that card?
Yeah, we'll see how this thing plays out. I'll start making this card in February. If it all plays out that way, Conor could be on the card.
You would still take him.
Yeah.
But you still respect him that much.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of trouble, man. Now when he was on, he made a lot of money. He was great. I get it.
This isn't tennis. This is the fight business.
It's not golf. It's not tennis. But can he still do what you need him to do or want him to do?
We're going to find out.
Another good point Cormier made was that this event could be serving McGregor better than anyone else. DC told Conor he could use the White House spotlight to remind fans why he was once the biggest draw in combat sports. It's not about winning titles anymore and more about stealing back the attention that made him a worldwide sensation. For McGregor, this fight would be the ultimate platform to establish he's still relevant. Not just in fighting skills, but as an entertainer who can steal the show.
I believe the Chandler matchup is a great matchup because Michael won't wrestle him. And he's dangerous when he's striking. So yes, I think he's coming back. But it's not because he wants to compete. I think he's coming back because he understands now that people aren't just in on the Conor McGregor business anymore. You and I spoke about this, Chael, before. Put Conor in a thumbnail, 100,000 views. Didn't matter. Now it doesn't matter. Put Conor in the thumbnail, don't put Conor in the thumbnail. People just like, we're kind of over it. But the moment he's back in the spotlight, really getting ready to fight, or he fights.
Cormier took it even further, reminding us all that McGregor's persona has always been one of the heel. A bad guy who enjoys the boos as much as the cheers. And in American tradition, particularly at a show connected to the White House, the tale is supposed to conclude with the hero securing the headlining bout. And that's why DC recommended the Spotlight bout have an American champion headlining, with McGregor filling his stellar supporting role as the pesky co-main event.
You want to feel good when you leave. At the White House, you want to feel good when you leave, or at least have a chance to do that. Because, Chael, we're going to ask people to buy into this red, white, and blue. We're celebrating our great country. We got to have a hero. We got to have a hero that walks out there at the end of the night that has a chance to become a world champion. That's just the way it is. So we're going to see by the time next year which American male will have an opportunity to fight for a UFC championship. I don't know what weight it'll be.
DC conceded that he would have had Jon Jones as his initial choice for this, but that notion quickly ran into a brick wall. In his view, Dana White simply does not trust Jones enough to lead such a gargantuan show. Dana demands nothing but perfection. That Dana's trust in Jones has been busted long ago, and the UFC kingpin isn't going to gamble on it again.
On that card, Chael, I pleaded with Dana White over the weekend to let Jones on. I've told you here that if we need an American guy to get a victory, you got to put Jones on. But Dana has seemed bullish to not trust him in that spot.
The stakes are too high for Dana, and the event needs to be constructed on stability, not controversy. Whereas Conor has his own baggage, his capacity for sale and his decision to appearing when the lights are bright make him the better bet in a matchup against Jones, even if he isn't headlining himself.
It's not even about him winning the belt. You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House card.
Reporter Ariel Helwani finished up by reminding us of a fundamental reality. Dana White holds grudges for as long as it pleases him, and if Jones has already burned bridges, it doesn't even matter how large the stage is, Dana will not flex. Helwani continued that whereas McGregor can be holding out for golden visas and fat checks, ultimately, he's still part of the inner circle when it comes to Dana. That alone makes him a more likely invite to the White House card than Jones ever would be.
To come out in front of the media and say this is 100% happening and then look like he was a liar, because I think he believed that if we got him the money, he was going to do it. And they did. And he didn't. And he'll remember that. And now he knows how much he wants to fight on this card, and so he'll say, no. You want to fight on another card? Great. Let's get a $25 million gate at the T-Mobile Arena. My big question is, do we think that this is going to be the International Fight Week event, or are they going to do this event and also an International Fight Week event? I wonder, because part of this thing with T-Mobile is they have an event usually in June, July. They've said 5,000 people is going to be at this event or are going to be at this event. They would be missing out on a lot of business if they...
Should McGregor headline, co-headline, or be cut altogether? Leave your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and stick around because this White House event could very well end up being one of the craziest fight cards in UFC history.